All right, guys, what is going on? This is episode 574 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football, and we're going to finish this week with some Atlanta Falcons information, or I guess more like opinion, because a lot has been talk about the quarterback situation, all the draft picks, all the things that's been going on with the Atlanta Falcons outside of the defense. I haven't talked much about the defense as much as we should, because I think the defense is going to be pretty special with all the new talent that's coming in, all the 1 year deals, the free agencies, the bigger deals that we got, with the Jesse Bates of the world and others, and even with the cornerbacks. But we don't talk much about Troy Anderson. And Troy Anderson is pretty much going to be the guy that they're going to give him the reins to actually be the heart of this defense. That's my opinion. I believe that's going to happen. I believe that Troy Anderson is kind of like in the same realm as what Desmond Ritter is on the offense. The offense is basically, catered around Desmond Ritter with all the talent. So Desmond Ritter, basically is destined to be good. He's destined to have some good numbers. He's destined to do some great things. Troy Anderson is kind of the same way. Troy Anderson was one of the guys that, our defensive coordinator definitely was happy to be a part of and coach him up. And then he bought some other guys from how do you say he bought them? But the guys from the Saints came in that were the Saints, signed with the Falcons. So they're going to be around as well. This defensive coordinator is pretty much locked in on that front seven. And you have a guy like Troy Anderson who's young, second year, just like Desmond Ritter. He's going to be the nucleus of that defense. He's going to be the heart of that defense. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that. And I'm going to let you guys know why I feel that way. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I want to thank you guys for a phenomenal week. This has been a great week for viewer and listenership. You guys have been amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. And we're going to just keep it moving, and hopefully we continue to progress and be better and better. The numbers get bigger and bigger, and all of this continue to grow as big as possible. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Troy Anderson, he was a second round pick in the 2022 draft, 58 pick overall. Pretty much he was drafted prior to Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter was a third round pick, but we didn't think much of anything when we picked him because he was like a Swiss Army knife. He played quarterback, he played fullback, he played linebacker. He did a lot of things. And they set him into the linebacker position with him and Rashaan Evans. You thought that was going to be a pretty good tandem. Michael Walker, whatever the case may be. We did not re-sign Rashaan Evans this past offseason. But Troy Anderson was definitely the guy that was targeted when our defensive coordinator came in. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he is used because he's very, very, talented. He's very athletic. He can do a lot of things. He can run. He can tackle. He can cover space. And a lot of things a lot of people don't think about, that he has a high intelligence of the game of football. So with him learning the position, him getting other talent around him, also having him with veteran talent or veteran leadership as well. This is the guy that's going to be, I feel, that could be the guy that's going to be the nucleus, the heart of this defense for years to come. He's on a rookie deal. He's going to be around for at least another 3 years. Going to see how that goes if we do decide to re-sign a guy like him. But I don't see why not. If he lives up to what he's been doing so far in his first season, he actually did pretty good. We'll talk about the stats in a minute. But if you look at what he's done so far and where he can go, you're talking about one guy who could probably be one of the top middle linebackers in the game. And I really believe that. I mean, you got a guy who can move around. He's athletic. He can get to the quarterback. He can cover. He can catch. I think he did some receiving back in college. So I mean, he can do a little bit of everything. With him having 69 total tackles in his rookie season was actually pretty decent. 40 of them was solo, and 29 of them was assisted. So he has a pretty good. He has a pretty good resume so far, even as a rookie. One forced fumble. He has one pass. He blocked the kick. So he blocked the kick, and he also had a pass defended. So you got a guy here who actually can do some things. 6 stuffs throughout the season. I guess the stuff is basically You stop somebody at the line of scrimmage when they're trying to get somewhere. Make sure they don't get anywhere. I guess that's a new stat that they're holding up now at ESPN. I don't know. It's kind of it's interesting, but nevertheless, you got a kid here that's basically on the same plane as Desmond Ridder, getting talent all around him, just like Desmond Ridder. And both of these two guys are going to kind of be intertwined with each other when they go on throughout their rookie contracts. You're going to see if these guys are going to develop to elite status. A lot of people sit here and want to think that Desmond Ridder is not going to be that guy, and you're entitled to your opinion, but I think he's in a really good position to do some things. And at the end of the day, no matter who your quarterback is, that's what you want. You want them to be in a position to have enough weapons around him to do some things productive. You don't want him to be laid out there high and dry, or whatever the case may be, regardless of how you feel about him. Same thing with Troy Anderson. He has guys like Calais Campbell, David Adamaya. He has other linebackers like Caden Ellis. You got other guys that's basically around him that's going to be able to show him the ropes as far as what to look out for, what you may not know. Whatever the case may be. Jesse Bates is going to be down there helping him with the, as safety that comes down. So you got some talent here that can show him some things. And not only that, they're going to rely on him to actually get that knowledge and use it so they can be directed and redirected on the defense. I think that's something that's very, very, very important, especially for a Mike linebacker. It's something that I'm not going to say you can't teach or you can't coach, because I'm pretty sure you can, but that's something that's very valuable with a young you can say young quarterback of the defense or a young linebacker. I just think at the end of the day, you go back and look at what Arthur Smith is doing. You go back and see what Terry Fontenot and them is doing. Hell, you can look at Kyle Smith. Like I said, I've been raving about Kyle Smith ever since I heard that press conference. And when you look at what these guys are made of and what they're trying to implement in this team and what they're trying to put on the field, you're starting to see a change. You don't see the old 28-3 Falcons. You don't see the old Bobby Petrino or the Jim Mora Falcons or the Dan Quinn Falcons. You see a big shift into what you've seen before. And I think a lot of people see it. Excuse me. But some people just don't want to admit it. They don't know how to admit it. They don't even know what to say. They don't know how to feel about it. There's been so much doom and gloom with this franchise. I understand it. But at the end of the day, you always have to look at it from you got to look at it from the perspective that it's given. These guys are trying to put together a winning culture, a winning franchise. They're starting to try to get that together. And it starts with a Desmond Ridder, or it starts with a Troy Anderson. These young guys who are capable of leading other men, even at a young age. I mean, you saw what Matt Ryan did when he first got on the field. He was ready to take control of that offense, and you saw what his career blew up to. Same thing with these other guys. I want them to have that same type of effect on offense and defense. Especially, I kind of lean more with Troy Anderson on this, that I want him to do that, because our defense has never really been like super duper stout. We had some decent defenses back in the day. Got some fairly good ones. But I think with a guy that is versatile as Troy Anderson, I think I said Troy Smith earlier, I'm sorry. A guy as versatile as Troy Anderson, you're going to get a guy that can absolutely see things that other people don't see. A guy that can cover all over the field. A guy that's able to lead other guys to be the best they can be. See things on offense, to see things that the offense is doing that other people may not see, and he call it out. Because he has, from what I hear, he's a very intelligent, football player. So those are the things you want to look for. And like I said, with what he has, and I'm always going to bring it back to Desmond Ridder, because like I said, he's going to be the leader on offense. And I think Troy Anderson is going to be the heart of the defense. And you're going to see two guys elevate themselves to be a couple of prominent players in this league. Hopefully that happens. That's what I think that could happen. We'll see how that goes. And whatever the case may happen, or whatever the case may be, it's all going to be interesting to watch and see how it unfolds. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Troy Anderson? What do you think, him being the heart of the defense? Is that possible? Do you think that's something that could happen? Do you think that could be a situation where he's just going to be a cog in the defense and somebody else going to take that place? What do you think? I think with the the leadership that or the veteranship that's around him, I think they're gonna try to mold him into that type of player, just like with Desmond Ridder. They got him wanting to be QB1 and they putting all that talent around him. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna get up out of here. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Check out the website, firstandframerates.com. And you can also follow me on Twitter at VFBaller. Over there, I talk about things that don't make it to the show per se. And sometimes I throw a little bit of other things on Twitter as well. So all right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have some fun. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time with your people. It's all good. And I will see you back here on Monday. Unless some breaking news happens throughout the weekend, I'll put something up on the YouTubes or Rumble. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take it easy. And y'all be blessed. Peace.